Hello and welcome. So, we will be discussing the top decks for post rotation that's happening next year. So, currently we are in December. This is December 24th when this video is being posted. I'm making it. These are the top decks that we all know and love or hate intensely. And what we'll be doing is we're going through the list and seeing all the cards that are going to rotate out. Because a lot of these top decks are going to split break up either completely or into sub decks. So let's go through and see which of the top decks will remain and survive through rotation. So firstly, here we go. Number one is still Gardy. This is Mega Dynasty build. This list is profiled by Card King. No, sorry, I said Card Kingdom. My bad. TCG player. And this is one of the articles they put out. You can see date here in the beginning of December. We're not using it. You don't have a later article since because the season kind of closed off coming down to the end of the year. But not much has changed. So here we go. So God of OX. We have a Diancie that stays. Monkey Dory is H, so that stays. Jellicent's new. Curlia is new. But our God of OX is going. This is the primary part of this engine because it allows you to move the damage, which makes the Monkey Dory relevant. Without it, Monkey Dory is irrelevant, as well as even the Jellicent because you can't move energy to it. So without that key part of the deck will slow down severely because of course you can use the Mega Gardevoir to extract energy from the deck, but that's going to cost you an attack per turn. And when you get into the trainers, again they lose an Arven, only one copy, so not much. Counter catchers, because those are G as well. Iono is going. We have Super Rods and G as well. So there isn't anything else that gets you back energy and Pokemon besides A-Specs on the item level. There's some supporters that do it, but so that's gone as well. So the recursion is severely impacted. Of course, the TM machine evolution is also leaving. So again, that ability to make it quick and evolve is going. Turo to bounce stuff. Artisan's leaving, and the big charm. So that's a lot. So basically the deck's functionality, I forgot Earth and Seal Vessel as well. The functionality of the deck and ability to find energy and the shuffles completely gone. So the deck may have to be rebuilt from the ground up because the core principle deck will be completely gone. So definitely Gardevoir is not surviving rotation. And let's go down. So there's them describing the deck. The biggest weakness is darkness decks. But again, we're not going through that. We're going through survival and rotation. Next, so Mega Absol toolbox is recent and new. So this mostly will survive rotation, but it'll still have some losses. So let's see. Again, everything here is above board. There's nothing in the G range. So that's nice. But like I said, still have casualties. Penny is rotating, meaning the ability of this deck to bounce the Kangaskhan to remove energy. I mean to remove damage, sorry, is completely gone. These are one take videos, so you'll hear a few flunders here and there, but that's how we do this. They are also losing Earth and Seal Vessel. Energy Switch was reprinted, so Energy Switch is still standard. Lazy Domination stays, but again, Counter Catcher is gone. Iono is gone, so the Iono could get replaced by Lazy Determination, but you will lose access to that hand disruption. Possible Judge replacement, but we have nothing to replace Penny because Turo is also rotating. So with Penny and Turo gone, we don't have anything to actually bounce our creatures besides that one A-Spec. We're going down again. 2 TM Evolution, the Energize. We're losing that. Pokegear is G but was reprinted recently. Nest balls are also will be reprinted. I think they were reprinted as well. We're losing Arven for sure. Boss's orders are still in rotation. Calamitous Mountain also is G, and this is one of the ways you get damage to remove it with the Monkey Dory and help you supplement your damage using the deck. So this is also going. Of course, the A-Specs are all H, so they will be staying until next year. When I say next year, I mean starting 2026, 2027. And of course, they're losing Bravery Charms. This also affects the survivability of the deck. So we'll have to find alternatives. There is damage reduction items, but the damage reduction is only 30, so it's not the same. When we get into the energy section, the energies will survive because the missed energy is H. So that's fine. This deck will survive rotation, but will have a lot of changes and adjustments for the missing supporters and the availability of energy. So we're going down. Let's go to number 3, which is Golden Go. And Golden Go, to the shock of no one, is definitely not going to survive. Of course, the Lunatone engine is good, and that's going to live. That's new. Genesect is also fairly new. But the Gimme Ghouls they like is here, but you have no Golden Goals because Golden Go, again, is G. So we're losing Golden Go for sure. So this deck is done. There is nothing to replace Golden Go. In terms of damage, output, and draw, we don't have anything that does that right now. And even for the Leak and Ascended Heroes, we still have nothing to replace it. So this deck is basically out. We'll still go through the supporters to see what else is going on. Again, Body Puffin. We have that for another year. Arvin is going, Earthen is going, and those are the key pieces. Earthen allows you to find the energy to discard. Arvin allows you to find that as well as other items. I already said most likely Arvin will be replaced by Drayton because it'll allow you to find an item as well as a Pokemon. And I don't know why people weren't trying to run it in Golden Go because that seemed to be a very good thing to run. Because you could find both those items that you can use to search energies as well as the Golden Go or Genesect or even part of the Lunatone Sorrow combo. But oh well. And while speaking, I just realized I was supposed to actually collect some Soroks and Lunatones today and I forgot. We had a Christmas celebration in our LG yesterday. Amazing. Mostly play Magic and a couple games of Pokemon and had some eats, but hey, be like that. Cyphermaniacs H, that stays. Again, new. Vitality Band is, I believe, also G. So we're losing Vitality Band. Again, Turo and Artisan. Turo and Artisan were very good. Again, to remove those Pokemon eye damage. As well as searching your Gimme Ghouls or Lutun Solrox so that you can actually get your draw engine on and to get that engine in the grave. So again, fairly new is Fighting Gong. Prime Catcher as another year. But again, we losing Super Rod. Excuse me there. Voice a little cracky. You're hearing it yourself. But I think one of the biggest losses we're going to suffer with this rotation is superior energy retrieval. Because this is G. And there's nothing that brings as much energy as superior energy retrieval. And a lot of decks depend on this, even if they aren't like the top meta decks, just for that sustainability. And a lot of people taking this for granted. Because again, we don't have a straight replacement for this. Because we have regular retrieval, but 2 energies and not discard 2 cards won't really cut in those decks that need like high energy and all of that. And also, Earthen Seal Vessel is an insanely strong card. It allows you to discard as well as find energy. Because now you might be relegated to using energy search, which finds a single energy. So we'll see. Fighting on is good, can help you fighting energy, but no other item is that universal. So there we go. There's Lopunny. I didn't see Lopunny here, but alright, let's go. Oh, there's Charm in the deck. Alright, so there we go. So let's see. We have number 4, Dragapult. And again, Dragapult having a resurgence. Both Dragapult and Charizard and the combinations. So let's see. This is H, Dracloak, G, H, Hawklucha. So we're losing Hawklucha. This is an underrated part of it. So it is very, very useful because when you do 60 damage, this 10 allows you to actually knock out some of the 70-point basics. So that will be missed. Dusclops, of course, is still H, so it's good, but U is also H, so again another year, but you to just terrorize people. And Dragapult, of course, is H, so Dragapult survives, as well as all the Pokemon. But let's get into the items now. Again, this deck runs 3 counter catchers because it allows you for those swapping and to not waste your supporter with boss and gives it that utility. And they're losing that. Dawn is new. It has room for Dawn, so there's no loss. Ultra Ball, Night Stretcher, Nest Balls are all ultimately still there. So Dragapult survives rotation, and since it's always been near the top, this means that Dragapult could possibly reign. Because out of the decks that are on top, we have Dragapult and Mega Absol Toolbox. And the Dragapult is much more stable even with the cards removed. It isn't as dependent on the G cards as the other decks mentioned so far. So again, we have Jam and Tower, again not G, Hilda, Buddy, Lily. Lord knows we losing 4 copies, but they can make do with Judge possibly. Because if it's just the draw, you'll have to do something else, but in terms of disruption, 06 and Judges could possibly fill this spot. 1 copy of Turo, so no reloads there. But let's look in the energies. They lose in Luminous. But Luminous isn't the greatest loss because again, we still have the other energy that does this, Prism Energy, but the downside is you can't put Prism Energy on your Dragapult. So Prism Energy will specifically just be for the Monkey Dory builds. So this will go back to being just basic energy. So we'll see, but again, we have 1 Luminous Energy in this build, so it won't be that bad. Let's go, and that gets us to number 5, Charizard EX. This is another one that's going to be tragic for some, because a lot of people only learned a couple decks when you're fairly new. This is one of them that's taking a really big hit. So first we have Klefki. Definitely using Klefki. Dusknoir stays, Tatsugiri 8 stays, Charmander have a replacements, but Pidgeot is going. And that's a very key part in a lot of these decks, because even the Pidgeot Dragapult is a very strong deck. So again, Pidgey's going, keeping Duskull, Dusclops, Chiyu, Chiyu. We're losing Chiyu X, we're also losing this Revenge Kill Chiyu. So again, deck completely falling apart. But most importantly, Charizard X, Black Zard, Nigga Zard himself, gone. And again, there's no replacement for Zard with the ability that allows you to pull 3 fire energy from your deck to your Pokemon on evolution. So you can't even swap it with something else and try to keep the same type of movement. The closest thing would have been the Chiyu EX for 2 fire energy. You could actually accelerate from your deck to your bench Pokemon, which no one used, but even that is rotating. And now let's get even into the supporters, even if something comes up. Again, 2 Arvins, both going, using counter catchers, Ionos, 2 Super Rods. Remember, they run a good bit of energy that they want to get back. The TM Evolutions, gone. Artisan, gone. Tongue Store, gone. And Jet Energy is gone. And again, there are a lot of decks that run Jet Energy, and a lot of you play Jet Energy in your decks to get around the switch and a lot of other things. And that is going as well. And like I keep saying, we don't have replacements for these yet, because some of them are very unique. So there'll have to be wholesale rebuilds of a lot of decks. But like I said, pieces, because nothing in this survives. Just the Tatsugiri and the Dusknoir, and that's not a deck by itself. It's not even a valid engine. Now we're getting into Enzorock, and this deck is fairly new as well this year, so this entire deck should survive, except for a couple of cards. So again, Enzorora, new, Toadscruel, G. And this is the one that keeps your opponent from getting cards from the grave. So, gone. So that's a lot of counterplay moved, because a lot of us would have had some counterplay against recovery in our deck, but again, they're losing Super Rod, so this will actually still be a thing. We also still have Stretcher and Range Retrieval, so there's no way to stop that right now. Monkey's good, Oki's good, Pecharunt's good, Fez is good, Cleffa, gone. And again, there's Cleffa builds for both these Charizard and the Dragapult builds. So, even in terms of like variations, still gone. We have other Toadscruels and Toadschools, but Those are complete other builds. Let's get into the supporters again. Countercatcher Iono, gone. Turo, gone. Serrano's new, so that's good. But again, these super rods, Hero's Cape, Palpad, and Artisan gone. So again, even though the deck is fairly new, a lot of pieces need to be redone. Because remember, we often use the super rod to get back some of the cards we discard, so you could freely discard energy and Pokemon because you can return them. So now you have to be more particular with what you're discarding with your ends rocks, because we don't have as much recovery at item speed. So that's a thing. And of course, this isn't as stable without those cards, that and not do have replacements for, as something like, again, Dragapult. So Dragapult, seeming like it'll go back up on top, and will just be there trying to fight the new Mega Pokemon. I can still two-shot with Mega Pokemon, so nothing we lost there. And yeah, that's the top 6 decks. But even in these top 6 decks, you can clearly see where there are a lot of things that don't have replacements yet. And you'll have to work around them because the decks won't function the same. And a lot of these top decks are about consistency. And removing so much key pieces ruins most of that. So of the top 6 decks in a format, there'll only be 3 that survive rotation. And of the 3, there's only a single deck that'll be even mildly functional if you just take out all of the cards that rotated. Because even the most recent deck, which would be the Mega Absol Toolbox, still has a lot of older pieces in it that are necessary for it to run. So do that as you will, and like I said, rotation's a couple months away, but don't let time come up and sneak up on you. Start collecting now, especially as the market's a bit low and cards are cheap. This is the time to start collecting those cards for rotation. I collect my Draytons today, so I will be starting up that. I'm also looking through a lot of cards that I'll be using to replace energy and bouncing and all these kind of things. So I'm already starting to test my decks through rotation to rotation proof my decks, because I will take a 3-month head start on rotation proofing my decks so that when next year comes, I am already ready and then down to go. It's also a good practice, so that way you will actually never have to be caught in the rush of the pre-rotation, that first couple weeks, and the post-rotation, like just after rotation when you're removing cards from your deck and you don't know what to fill in. Or while everybody trying to collect cards or order them, prices shooting up, things not in stock, all that confusion and good stuff. But that's been it. There's a short video. Tomorrow's Christmas, but work don't stop. I'll be posting a video tomorrow as well as going straight into the new year, unless something happens or I get super drunk, but I very much doubt that. But in case, I'm making sure you hear me. So I hope you all enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. And I just realized this video has been 18 minutes. I actually shooting for 15, but hey, it be like that. So see you all next time. Bye.